What's up, everybody? Tim Anderson here, aka Renfell. Welcome back to another Solasta video. It has been a while since I've done one. If you remember this game, I played this when it first came out, did a live playthrough here on YouTube. It took me a little over a week, and I went through it in its entirety. And at the time, I raved about this game and called it the best thing I had ever played since Dragon Age Origins, which in and of itself was the best thing I'd played since Baldur's Gate 1, 2, Icewind Dale 1 and 2, etc. If you see the sheets moving behind me, I promise there's no monsters in here. It's Luke and Leia, our rescue cats. They're burrowed underneath there, sleeping. Let's take a look real quick. I promise you it's not monsters. What's up, Lucas? What you doing, buddy? You comfortable down in there? Yeah. Who's a good boy? Yeah. Love my little kittens. Anyway, uh, big news today. Solasta is now available on Xbox One, Series S, Series X, and Xbox Game Pass, and it is multiplayer with crossplay now between that entire ecosystem plus Mac users. Blew my mind when I saw this today because I haven't played it since it originally came out. And I know since then they've added some more classes, I think. They've added an expansion pack. They have another expansion pack coming in the pipeline. And I previously ranted about this game in a good way about how this is a company who did it right. Like Tactical Adventures went out there and they did a very low key Kickstarter. They were very smart with their money. They then made a game, launched a game, had a successful launch, didn't overpromise anything. They went ahead and started to work on the post launch content, did patches, fixed bugs, added some new content, added some features here and there, delivered all of the Kickstarter rewards. Then they went out and started working on some additional content for the game because they had enough of an audience to justify it. And they've since added, as I said, one of the first DLCs, and I think there's another one coming down the pipeline. The fact that you can now cross-play this game blows my mind, and I think it's time that I go back to this game with some of our gaming community and say, hey, let's do this in a co-op multi-stream adventure because this is for in my mind, if you're on the fence and you're waiting for Baldur's Gate 3 to launch because Baldur's Gate 3 is going to give you all the things that you want in terms of an online D&D experience, you don't have to wait. Obviously, Larian Studios has a much bigger budget, but this game right here, if you like tactical combat, if you like top-down isometric, if you like good RPG, if you like a fun game with turn-based combat where you can manipulate every little aspect of the environment and you can just do all sorts of crazy fun things with the turn-based stuff and your party members, this is going to be the game that you want to play. So the big thing today, obviously, is the fact that we now have this press release that Solasta Crown of the Magister is available on Xbox One, Series X and X, Xbox Games Pass. There is a release trailer, which I'm going to be linking down below. You're going to see snippets of that throughout the video. Um, the big thing here is there multiplayer crossplay between PC and Xbox? What about cross-platform between different Xbox consoles? It says yes, you can play multiplayer with Xbox and PC players and Mac players in the same session. In the same session, ladies and gentlemen. That's huge. There are so many AAA titles that don't do this, and here we have this really cool indie game that is doing the same thing for you, which is just amazing. We got a lot more to cover today, but before we get to that point, this is the part of the video where I get to say, hey, if you like what you hear today, I would love you to do me a favor. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon so you can continue to get updates in the future and see my cats when they're more visible. Of course, you can also support the channel by doing a super thanks down there. It's your chance to drop $2, $5, whatever you want to on the video to support me as a content creator. I'm also live most days. You can do super chats and stickers on the live streams to support as well. You can also join as a member of the Adventurers Guild down there. There's a lot of cool perks and private videos and audiobook chapters and everything else. And if you really want to go above and beyond because you like independent games, then you should check out the World of Weave and the Void, which is that map behind me because it's our own take on a 5th edition tabletop setting for my brother, my wife, and I. There's also a point and click game, kind of like the old King's Quest games if you like that. And there's a book series all done through our Patreon. So patreon.com/wandering hermits. But I digress. Let's get back to all the things we're wanting to hear about Solasta. Now, when I played this game through before, one of the things that I love about the game is the fact that the combat. When I gave it its eventual review at the end of the day, I said I think I gave it like a 7.5 or an 8 out of a 10. The gameplay was not the detracting factor for me. The only limitation for this game in my mind is the fact that it is an indie title, and the places where they cut budget were on character models and voice acting. Those were definitely on the low end of the totem pole in terms of not being up to say AAA standards, but it doesn't take away from the enjoyment of the game. It's just in a fair review, there were things that took away from it being a 10 out of 10 in my book. Also, the storyline was not quite, it's kind of a generic storyline. The voice acting was also pretty good, but could have been better. Overall writing was solid, so on and so forth. But as far as gameplay goes, this game's 10 out of 10. Like, I don't think I've seen better gameplay outside of like I said, Dragon Age Origins back in the day. I know that Owlcat Studios has done the Pathfinder Kingmaker and Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. They're very similar in scope, and I think they actually have worked together and tossed each other support over the years between these two studios. Those two games are very good and are also good examples of tactical turn-based RPGs, but I actually feel like the voice acting and everything else is a little more professional from Owlcats, but I like the gameplay in Solasta better. The gameplay in Solasta is way more tactical. When I first uncovered jumping in this game and watched my character jump from one thing to the other, and then realized that, oh, other characters can't jump that distance because their stats suck, I was like, oh, this is going to be fun because now I have to make a party, keeping in mind that it's not just about combat and it's not just about sneaking around and it's not just about magic. It's also about how can I manipulate the environment and jump around and get across these areas for puzzles and extra secret areas and so on and so forth. So if you like that kind of stuff and you like the micromanagement of a turn-based RPG game, in my mind, this is the closest you're going to get to actual 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. Now I know that Larian Studios is building something very similar with Baldur's Gate 3. We have enjoyed immensely our time in Baldur's Gate 3. This is like in my mind, they're very comparable games. One is with a very very big budget, and this is an independent venture. And if you like supporting independent studios, please go out there and buy this game. Or if you have Games Pass, get on it because it's available now and you can play with your friends. Now, it's been a while since I've played this. Look at those environments. Just look at that. Oh, it's such a good game. Such a good game. Um, yeah, prepare to think in 3 dimensions. That's so true. High ground, size matters. Monsters also think vertically. It's true to tabletop. You get to see your dice rolls, ladies and gentlemen. There's dice rolls throughout this game. It's so amazing. They have added, I believe, let's look here, characters. Or they're adding. Yeah, like this. It says the half orc is coming, or it says available in the Primal Calling DLC. Looks like we're also getting the Druid class and the Barbarian class as in the Primal Calling DLC, which I don't think is out yet. I think the only one out right now is the Lost Valley expansion, which is the one that I haven't played yet. So more than likely, if I don't play through Lost Valley, I may play through this Primal one that they're launching very soon. But at the end of the day, like I said, this is a game you need to get on it. If you haven't already done so, if you haven't already played this game, you have no excuse not to if you are a member of the Xbox Game Pass community. Please go out there and support these guys. I think they've got a great title. Love to hear your thoughts below. Drop them down there. I'll see everybody in the next video. Happy gaming, folks.